G'day everybody, welcome to the studio. I hope everybody is having a wonderful day. I'm just getting ready to mix some resin and do a pour. I've noticed people in the group have been doing some really gorgeous seascapes with the Le'Rez pigments and you know, other pigments as well, and resin. So I thought, oh, I just felt like, yes, I have to do that too, because I used to love painting landscapes back in the day when I used to do like traditional art. So what I'm doing is just mixing some resin now. I am using the Mad Artist resin. I like working with it because it's just the right viscosity for me, and it's a 1:1 ratio, which really helps, you know, with measurements. It's easy, as well as it's not too expensive to buy. So if anybody's interested, I usually stock some. I never have too much, but if I have any in the store and you trust me, go and buy some. Or you can buy them directly from Mad Artist, which is the Melbourne Art Direct in Australia. It's an Australian company. You can get it directly from them. So what I'm going to do is just mix. Oh, I've just made it in this cup, so I've got to be careful not to spill all over the place. So I'll be back in a sec. Little tip for you all, because I had too much resin in here, almost a full cup, what I did was I just used these little cups, which I already used, you know, to pour my resin into. So I poured a little bit in each, and then you can really give it a good stir without worrying about spilling everything. So that's a little tip for you for today. Okay, now that I've mixed them really well, I can pour the rest back in the big cup, and I can use these smaller cups to mix my colorant in. Okay, let's start with the colors that I've chosen. So the first one, new color, it's a Pearlesque. It's part of the Pearlesque brand. So always give them a good stir. Any of the metallic colors, whatever brand you're using, need a little bit of a stir, because the metal pigment, the metallic pigment, is just, it's much heavier than the rest of the mix, so it might drop to the bottom. So give it a stir, and here is the color. Okay, Aqua Ocean, that's one of them. And so what I'm going to do is just going to put a little bit of resin in each cup, just to get me started, and see if I need anything else. I will definitely be using the Angel White, and somebody in the group has asked me, what is so special about the Angel White? You know, I keep hearing about it. What's so special about it? Well, it's just a really white, and it's super opaque. So here it is. It comes in a little jar like this, and I've got a bigger jar which fits more than, this is 50 grams. The bigger jar fits how many, 80 grams. So if anybody wants to, you know, instead of buying two of the little ones, you can just get one of the big ones. So whichever way, you know, it works. Then I'm going to be using this color. It's called, another new one, it's called the Lunar Green. So same sort of deal, give it a stir. You may not, you can, what else, another thing you can do is just flip them upside down like that, and it'll be easier to stir. You're still going to have to stir them, but it'll be easier to stir. So that's another color, this one, using the saffron spice, another pearlesque. Take the little lid off, might as well get rid of it, don't need it, and give that a stir as well, just to lift that metallic pigment from the bottom. Okay, you don't need a huge stir. What you're doing is just combining it back together. And I've got a hold on a second, I've got so many golds, I'm getting confused which one this one is. A deep gold. Don't have it in the store just yet, but I've got lots of it. It's just that I didn't have a chance to do it yet. You know, everybody went on holidays for Christmas and New Year's, and I had a week and a half off, and you know, I'm having trouble catching up with work. So it's nothing like the molten gold. So if you want that real gold looking like gold, get the molten gold when I get it eventually, because the manufacturer is obviously struggling to supply. And also, well, let's see, let's just mix these. Okay, you're gonna need, probably have too much of the pigment. Let me just quickly go get some more cups. It's just too much in one cup. Okay, I've got quite a few colors here, so I don't need that much. Okay, that's good there. And I can always add some more resin to it, you know. And a little bit of this one here. Okay, add more resin, more pigment, just play with it until you're happy. Okay, let's get started. Just to make sure you're on, let's start with the Aqua Ocean. It's a really pretty blue. About 10%. I'm actually going to put in a little bit more in there. The pearlesque colors are transparent, all of them. And most of the matte colors that I have, the pastes, they are opaques. So if you want a combination, you know, to get the cells and everything, then use a combination of the two. Okay, in with the Lunar Green, give that a stir. Somebody left me a comment, and I had to laugh because it happens sometimes, saying, you know, oh, you know, what an idiot, I've just wasted 17 minutes watching you mix color. It's one of the ones for beginners, you know, when I explain everything from A to Z. So I was just like, okay, somebody's obviously having a bad day and don't know how to use the fast forward button, obviously. Okay, so here's the gold. It's another transparent. So hopefully I have enough of the resin mixed to you know, compress it in so they become a little bit more opaque. Because if you stretch them out, they kind of stay opaque. Ooh, I put a little bit too much in there. I can tell. It's just going to take a little bit harder to set, so I'm going to add a little bit more of the resin in there. That's a saffron spice, another pearlesque. Just a fancy name that I gave them because they're in between a pearl and a metallic, but they're definitely shimmery. So it's not a matte, all of them are shimmery. What else have I got to put in? A little bit of the Sassy Red. Now I don't really want too much of the Sassy Red because it's a real, actually, oh you bugger, look what I did. It's a strong pigment, real strong pigment. Anyway, here we go, good stir. It's a real good stir of that. And what I do is I scrape on the sides. I like to do these videos so everybody can watch them, advanced people as well as, you know, newbies, because newbies can watch everything and learn, and the advanced guys can just fast forward. Right, so then I got that. I'm gonna have to have a little bit of the sandy color that I've mixed myself. I don't have it in the shop. I just, like I said, haven't had time to play and mix big batches of things, but this is my sand color. So just going to have a little bit of sand at the bottom. And like I said, give it a good, I mean, how good are these pigments? I can tell you one thing. I've mixed this sand probably 2 years ago, maybe a little bit less than 2 years ago, while I was testing these pigments, the pigment pastes, and there's nothing on there. It's just perfectly fresh, as you would say. Just, you can usually tell. Actually, we will see in the painting. And the colour is actually quite nice too, so I'm going to add a little bit more of the resin, clear resin to it. Give that a stir quickly. And the angel white, where did you go? Oh no, oh here you are. Angel white, an absolute must. Have a look at that white. It's an absolute must if you're making or trying to create cells and foam looking like effects in your ocean paintings. When I stir like this, I always scrape and then pick it up and then scrape it again. Do it again, just to be sure, Okay, got everything now. And moving these things out of the way so I don't get them all messed up. So the easy way to do this is, because I want the sky to be quite red, and I've really buggered it up here. Let's see if I can clean it with some alcohol. This is just isopropyl alcohol, and just try to get rid of that. I'm not happy that I did that, but hopefully I'll be able to fix it when I cover it. I might just flip it around. So the red's going to be first. I'm going to have a little bit of gold. Get you out of the way. Now a little bit of this saffron, and then the gold. Can you see me layering that colors? Yes. And then the saffron. Sorry, the saffron, then the gold, and then I'm going to have some of this lunar green and some of the aqua ocean, and then the sand and the white last. So we're just going to be laying colors. I'm going to go like so to lift that up a little bit. So let's see, I might be able to just go down a little bit with the red, just to give it a funky kind of look. Let's see what happens. I haven't primed this other than it being already gessoed by the manufacturer. What I did do is I went underneath a little line there, and I might just put a little line here just for a bit of camouflage there. What was I saying? Yes, what I did do is I just tightened the canvas a little bit with just the wedges that go underneath. Leave it like that. So that was our red. Next is our saffron. It's a gorgeous color. Have a look at that. And I like these little paper coffee cups because you can squeeze them and they can give you a really nice line if you wanted it. It doesn't have to be perfectly straight, because you know, a lot of things in nature, especially these sunsets and things, they're not straight, not perfectly straight anyways. And then the gold, just to give it a little bit of that golden kind of, let's tilt it a little bit. So see how strong and fully opaque the red is, you know, it's overtaking this transparent color. This one's quite transparent as well, so I'm just going to have a little bit of it there. That's the deep gold, but don't be fooled by the name. Just the color is like a deep gold color, but it's quite transparent. I'm going to leave a little bit, clean my hands as I go. What I might do is add some of the green, which is a lunar green. Before I do that, I might just bring this right up to the edge. If it spills over, great. If it doesn't, great again. Don't know if I'm going to have enough of everything, so this could be like a little reflection there, possibly. We don't know. We shall see. But I've got a lot of these other colors that I have to use. So actually what I'll do is I'm going to start with the green up here. It is a transparent. I always leave a little bit in there. And I think I've got a little bit of, yep, resin left in there as well. I always use my hands. Not always, of course, I say always, but I don't always. But I tend to use my hands most of the time, I should say. A bit of this blue, which is the Aqua Ocean. It's also transparent and it's gorgeous for any kind of waterscapes. Just put the whole lot of that in there, except for a couple of drops, and just move that along. Because it's a canvas, and although I've tightened it, it seemed to be pulling towards the middle. This is why I love using straight surfaces like the MDF board or timber or glass or something like that, because this is a pain in the bum sometimes, but you know, this is what I have right now. Now let's get some sand involved right here. Head down like that. See how much I've got. I might even add some of that color down here, or up here rather, because once that mixes with the all the other colors, it'll turn into something else. So that's that. Ooh, it's running down the side. That's okay, no problem. So this is an opaque, as you can see, and it's a matte color, so it's completely different. Just adds a little bit of something. Right, and the white is coming in. Most of this is actually going to put a little bit more of the sand down here. Just a bit more like that, and maybe even a little bit more of this green over here. Bit extra water there. Haven't really planned how to do it, which is the best way to paint, you know, unless you've got an actual picture in mind of what you want to do and how you want to do it. And just let your intuition, or whatever you want to call it, just go to work for you. a little bit there. Be interesting when I start blowing it with the heat gun. A little bit there, and maybe a tiny little bit more of this green over here. Of course you can use different colors. This is just what I'm using because they're new, so I just wanted to show you what they do. And I've got more of this gold, which I may just give it a bit of a reflection down here and more over here. And then, oh, that's looking really good there. More gold here. So we'll use up all of this red. Just continuing down here now with the red. I've got drips going everywhere, but it's just going to add to the design. And some more of the saffron. And I've got a little bit more of the resin left, which I can mix some more. Okay, so I've got the white. I'm going to leave the white just for the moment, because what I want to do is just go like this. Give it a bit of a mix. Combine them a little bit, get them to mingle and create some nice kind of effects together. And this red, so of course I'm picking up some of that other pigment, mixing it with the red, which is quite a strong red, so it needs a little bit of softening. And as I'm doing that, my fingers are kind of scraping off the edge and allowing some of the resin to slide down. I like that already. I'm getting cells here just by doing that, because what you're doing is using the swipe technique with your hands. A little bit of canvas showing here, so what I'm doing is just camouflaging that. And I've got a tiny bit of gold left, which I might just add here as well, just like a bit of a reflection there. And some more down here and here. Probably will lose some of it, but it's all good. Right, now little swipe motion here, and here. I love the way that looks already. Oops, so I won't interfere with that. Little drips coming down here. Okay, let's go with the white now. This is going to be interesting. I hope I don't ruin it. Okay, let's go down here. Could even just leave it like that if I wanted to. What happened here? Just a bit of something there. Looks like a little fish. How appropriate. Okay. Maybe a little bit over here. Got too much of that white there. Okay, just going to clean my hands. Go clean it really good, and let's get some heat onto this. Wow, wow, wow. It looks like this wave is going whoosh that way, and there's one coming down this way. So just going to leave it as is. It's going to change, of course, because it just, the blaster things tends to always change on us, but that's what you do. Digging out a little bit of hair and a bit of fluff there. So it's kind of pulling to the middle, which is a bugger, but I quite like it. I actually really like it. So I'm going to leave it as is. I know you can't believe that I've said that. I know. I've got a little bit of resin left. If I could just push a little bit of this resin down here, because I've got a few drips there and a few everywhere, but not over here. So I'm going to do that. Actually, I could even just do this, to be honest, because it's just red. It's not going to wreck anything. So what I'm going to do is just go like that and let it drip. Let it drip down. Actually, I've got a little bit which I can just allow it to go down there. Get another one here. Off it goes. Don't really need to cover the whole thing with drips. I just like it as it is. That's lovely in my opinion. I'm gonna come down so I can show you all the rest of it. Okay, so I decided that I wanted to add a little bit more white to it. So that's what I'm going to do now. Right here. Just doesn't seem to be working the way I want it to. And I want it to be a little bit more opaque there. Down here looks great. Maybe a little bit, tiny little bit of white here. If I can get it out, be great. Like that. And okay. Now let's try it with the heat gun and see what happens. Okay, so I think I need to add a little bit more here, make it a little bit more realistic. Always ends up a bit too much white. And I was pushing this down, pushing this up. And you can see me going a little bit lighter at times. It's just that I feel that I've got too much heat on there. So I just slow it down a little bit. Oh, I've got about 1 million cells happening here. It's that pearlesque. It's just amazing. Okay, let's go. That's really good. I love that green. That's alright. Not to worry. Okay, gonna add a little bit, just a tiny little bit of, this is just gorgeous right here. Just gonna add a little bit more of this green down here just because I have some. Don't have to, but it's there, so why not? Give it a bit of something. I think I'm gonna leave it alone now. There's a little fly flying around. And I love that. I'm gonna have to bring you down to show you a close-up so that you can see for yourself about all the crazy cells I've got. Okay, a couple of hours later, things happened. And wow, just moved and created some more cells, more lacing, beautiful effects. Look at that. How cool is this? So I will put another coat on it because I'd like to do something about this white. But yep, I'll wait a couple of days and do it, and be sure to watch and see what I do with the second coat.